Today I'm going to get stuck in putting this bloody Z1000 back together. Obviously I'm going to give these tins a little bit of a time to dry up properly over the next couple of weeks before I fix me fuck ups. Yeah, I'll give you a look at them again. You would have seen them last episode, but pretty disappointed with myself for making such a mess of it, but you get that. Yeah, got a decent dag there, and this bloody front guard, horrendous. That's the rear guard obviously, but that didn't come up too bad as I showed earlier last week. The front guard looks good on this side. Minimal orange peel straight off the gun. However, this is where I fucked up. Absolute terrible bloody run along that side, which, yeah. Next episode I'll get into fixing it and show you how I go about fixing it. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, especially being that some of it's not across this little body line here. But, you get that bloody shit. Yeah, anyway, onto this today. I made a few mistakes when I was putting it together. I routed these cables incorrectly, hence the reason they're sitting bloody so terribly. One sits up, one sits down. I didn't take enough photos when I pulled it apart, and yeah, stuffed up when I ran them back in. I thought one went on that side of the frame and the other on this side, but going through a heap of photos online, you can see they both run together as a pair and then duck back in, so I'll get that done. I also, for the life of me, can't remember where the horn mitt was mounted. It just doesn't really seem to want to sit anywhere like nicely, and there's no hole I can see for it. Again, if you're doing something like this, make sure you take plenty of bloody photos and document what you're doing when you pull it apart. Going off the online, I think it's mounted behind this oil cooler, so I can't see any clear photos of it, and generally most of the photos I can find, the bikes have been modified over the years, so yeah, I've seen some where it's mounted down low, somewhere it's mounted high, somewhere it's underneath the seat, somewhere it's tucked underneath the tank, so yeah, I'll just find somewhere where it fits nicely and bolt it up there. I prepped up the exhaust and painted it with high temp paint. It's not the nicest looking exhaust. Whoever had it before me, old man, did a cut and shut job on it. That centre section was covered in bloody bird shit welds everywhere, so I spent a fair bit of time with a grinder just cleaning it up, making it look a bit nicer. So yeah, once it's all on the bike, I don't think it'll look too bad, but that's done with a high temp satin black, so should look all right once it's on there. I might throw the tins on it as well, just to have a bit of a look to see what it's going to look like. Just a bit of a sneak peek before I get stuck into it. So might get that done first, put you on time lapse, and yeah, have a look what she's going to look like once I finally finish these tins. So yeah, that's with the tins thrown back on. Definitely not going to look too bad once she's all buttoned up, I reckon. Yeah, looking forward to seeing it running and back on the road. I'm a little undecided yet what to do with the badges. They've got chrome surrounds and then the white writing, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think with the white writing it's gonna look the best, but yeah, not 100% sure yet what I'm gonna do there. I might maybe change the white and do it in a grey or something, and yeah, see what that looks like, or maybe even a satin black inside the lettering. Unsure. I might have a bit of a play with Photoshop and yeah, see what it's going to look like. But all in all, I think once this thing's back together, it's definitely going to look the part. Yeah, the bit of peel that's in the tank, I'll get rid of that when I get rid of the runs. I'll give it a bit of a 1000, 1500, then a cut and polish, and yeah, just reduce those that little bit of wrinkle. Yeah, all in all, she's looking all right so far, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll get all these tins back off, and I've got to button it all up. A few of the bolts and that I haven't tightened up properly yet, and yeah, just go right over it, make sure everything's all buttoned up correctly, and then get the exhaust and everything on it. And, I'll go from there. I'll put you back on time lapse. You would not read about it, would you? So I was just putting the rear brake switch back in. Press on the bloody brake lever once, and yeah, snaps the little eyelet off the bottom. So you got a little rod that goes from the brake pedal up onto this, and pull down once, and it bloody snaps the thing. So I guess I'll have to order a new one of those. It's a problem with these old bikes. Everyone gets old and a bit brittle, and yeah, better off finding it now, I suppose, and when I was riding along, or when my old man was riding along. Anyway, I'll keep on keeping on. And yeah, as mentioned, I've got to fix these bloody throttle cables, which is an absolute pain in the ass, because they're sitting there and they're a fucking pain to fucking do up. But anyway, back on a time lapse, and I'll get that done. So yeah, remove the carbies again so I could get these cables off. They definitely look like they'll route better going through the forks and then back through the centre of the frame. But just looking at them, they look a little bit shit because of the old electrical tape and whatnot on them. So I do have a bit of the fabric conduit, which I think I might put over them because that looks a lot better. So I'll pull a bit of this old tape off, re-tape it so it looks a bit neater, and then throw a bit of that sheathing over it. This is that sheathing I'm talking about. I actually think it looks quite nice when it's on the part. So yeah, just got a couple of different sizes there. Basically, it's a bit hard to do with one hand, but you push on it. If I can get it with one hand. You push on it and it opens up so you can get the cable through it. Then when you pull it tight, it just snugs back over the top of it and looks quite nice, makes it look all uniform. So yeah, I'll have a bit of a play and get that done now. Yeah, so this stuff here, you just push on it and see how it opens up, and you just feed it on, and just keep feeding on. And then when you pull on it, it looks nice and tight and neat, and yeah, I think it looks a bit better than the shitty cables that are on there. And then to finish it off, that frayed end, you can just wrap it with a bit of tape, trim it up neat, put heat shrink over it, whatever you want to do. I think I might do a bit of heat shrink over it just to make it look a bit better. And yeah, basically it looks quite nice, I think. makes it look a little bit more modern as well. So yeah, I'll keep on with this. So yeah, heat shrink I got, unfortunately. The size I wanted to use is a little bit too small, so the next size up is what I'm using. That's what it currently looks like there, so hopefully it'll shrink down enough, but we shall find out right now. Got to get that sitting up somewhere so it sits nicely. With any luck, it'll shrink down enough. So asking it a fair bit though to shrink down this much, but time will tell, I suppose. Don't really like using a flame too much on this because it's that other stuff can catch fire pretty easy, so might have to get my heat gun out, I think, instead. But yeah, focus. Looks like it might shrink down a bit more if I hit it with my heat gun. I just don't want to melt that stuff there. But as you can see, it looks a hell of a lot nicer than it did. Once I heat shrink the other end as well, it's going to look almost factory, and yeah, just a little bit more modern, I suppose, if it wants to focus. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get my heat gun out instead so I don't run the risk of melting this fabric. Oh, another fuck up. I tried to be cute and measure it out before it was stretched. Measured it from there down to the end, and obviously once it's stretched out a little bit, it's fucking too short now. Fucking pain in the ass, so now I'm gonna have to pull that back off and throw another piece on. So anyway, can you get that in the big jobs? At least it can be reused, I suppose. Anyone that's interested, I can focus. That's the stuff I'm using anyway. Don't know why my phone's not focusing today, sorry. But yeah, I just grabbed it off of, I think it was Ali or Tina or something. But it comes in many different sizes, and yeah, actually looks pretty good once it's on, I believe. So. I know it's not a big thing, but they definitely look a little bit better now. And the way they're routed definitely makes them sit better as well. So probably should have gone under this bloody speedo cable, I reckon. No, looks a bit better, I think, myself. It's the little things. If you can make things look better while you're doing them for cheap, why not? So I'll get this bloody carby hook back up now. That's the fun part. The throttle's all set back up. The filters, intake filters are on. I think I found where that horn sits after having a bit of a look. Looks like it gets bolted in into the frame there. So yeah, I'll find the screw for that, get that screwed in. Battery's not hooked up yet, obviously, because still stuffing around with this wire, and gonna have to order a replacement brake master switch, like I said, because that's bloody stuffed, unfortunately, but should be able to get one of them off of Z1000 spares. Beyond that, once I get that horn in, I'll start stuffing around with this exhaust, get the exhaust on, get it all bolted in. Hopefully I can get the right hand side foot pegs and everything back on once that's in place. Another thing I need to figure out is this center stand never had any kind of stop, so it's actually been, the chain's actually been rubbing on it. I don't know if you can see down in there, but yeah, it's actually rubbed on it for years and cut a groove into it. So I was throwing a new chain on it and don't want that to happen again, so I'm gonna have to make up some sort of stopper. I've seen a few different ones online. A few of them come from these foot peg mounts, comes down basically across and then back up, and it just rests against it. Oh, sorry, I don't think I was zoomed in then. So yeah, it comes down from there across there and then back up, and this just rests against it so it doesn't touch the chain. Another version I've seen comes off the exhaust pipe, but that's when they've got twin exhausts, and this one's only got the single side. So yeah, I don't know, I'll figure something out, but yeah, once again, if it was my bike, I'd get rid of that center stand. Wouldn't have it anyway, just cut down on a bit of weight. Yeah, I've got to button up all this side because it's all still finger tight at the moment because I've got to adjust the clutch. So yeah, get that clutch cable hooked up and yeah, go from there. Don't know if any of you guys have seen these before, but it's a cheap light from AutoPro, I believe, stock 'em. Not a bad little unit. Well, again, no affiliation whatsoever, but yeah, got a magnet on the end. You can swivel it around, put it wherever you want. The top of it is adjustable, same as the brightness with the thumb turn. Bloody very, very handy in and around cars and bikes and whatnot. I think it was about 10 or 20 bucks. Yeah, and it's rechargeable, so yeah, if you like your lights, cheap ones, I'd highly recommend one of them. Throw you back on time lapse and get this exhaust on. So I got to keep these copper crush washers in there in the intake somehow. Not sure how you're supposed to do that because you put them in there and the pluggers just want to keep falling out. So I'm going to just put a tiny little bit of grease on them, and hopefully that'll hold them in place and won't cause too many issues when I finally fire it up. Can't see it causing too many issues. It should just burn off pretty quick, so give that a crack, and yeah, hopefully it works. If you got any other suggestions or ideas on how they stay in there, please let me know. Be good to learn for next time. But yeah, as you can see, that tiny little bit of grease holds them in place. So yeah, I'll get this done on the 4 of them, and then hopefully I can get this bloody exhaust on and tightened up. Oh, you fuck. But yeah, it's definitely not a good job to do when you got bloody big fucking Murras like I have. But anyway, yeah, so that's 2 in. Couple more to go, and yeah, I'll come back to you once I got this exhaust on. I've got the exhaust pipe on as well now. It's only just pinned on there at the minute and not done up mega tight, because gonna have to go and get a couple other nuts, because yeah, there's 3 different size nuts on the bloody thing, which is a pain in the ring gear. Oh, the threads are the same, but the head size of the nuts are different, so I want to standardise it and get 8 exactly the same size. So yeah, I'll have to wait till I get home next break. Yeah. Other than that, I've still got to make up a couple of brackets for the headlight. These are the brackets that came with the bike, but I've put a couple of fork collars on, trying to just black out as much as I can, so these don't fit on that pipe, so I'll have to cut and bend something else up. These don't look standard anyway, they look like aftermarket, or someone's just made them, but yeah, might be hard to make a couple of those. Other than that, I think that's about all I can do on it at the minute, because I just got to get these tins sanded and cleaned up, and start getting all those bolted on. I've nipped everything else up. I've just got to take the clutch cover off and adjust that clutch once I get that hooked up. Other than that, not really that much of an informative video, this one, sorry. So yeah, probably actually a bit of a waste of time, but anyway, I've got to keep them coming, keep myself motivated, and yeah, get this thing done. So when I come back, hopefully it'll be fixing me fuck up on those tanks on the terrible run, and the front guard, get all that bolted on, and yeah, hopefully in a week or so this will be running. Take her a bit of a run, see how she goes, give her a shakedown, make sure everything's tight after that, and yeah, keep on keeping on. But I don't think she's looking too bad. That exhaust looks a hell of a lot better than it did when I started. I'll throw a picture up on the screen of how she looked when she rolled in here, but yeah, slowly but surely getting there. I might also throw a photo up of how I want it to look later on when I cafe racer it. Yeah, if I do, it'll be on the screen now. That's the idea. I'd love it to look like later on down the track, but for the time being, my old boy wants it kept the way it is, so it's comfortable for him for riding. So yeah. Thanks again for watching, and yeah, till the next one. Hey, Ray.